could hear him wandering around in the streets, stumbling about, raving.
Did people go to the moon or not? Did people go to the moon or not? Did we?
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to Truth TV News. I'm Vincent Rose, your host, and I wanted to talk to you about Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin, the dark times that followed the historic flight. And a lot of people don't know that Buzz Aldrin went into deep depression and alcoholism. I'm sure you might know because you keep up with this. But again, my trolls may not know that he went into depression and alcoholism after coming back from, so-called coming back from the moon, allegedly coming back from the moon. Oh, just come on. He faked it. So anyway, I'm going to try to give respect to this article here because we are dealing with a man's life. And this man, he was suffering from depression when he returned back from the moon. And as you can see from my intro, what he was doing is he was running around the streets rambling, did we actually go to the moon? In this article here, I can't read you the whole thing. It's very lengthy. I'm trying to leave it in the description box for you to pull up yourself. But it just says, surprisingly, Aldrin had reservations about describing what it was like to kick up moon dust for an hour and a half, as he did on July 20th, 1969. Anyway, Buzz Aldrin did not want to answer or declined to answer any questions in this interview here, and I believe this interview was done by the Telegraph. And I thought I saw on this article that it's a 2009 article. Yes, July 2009. And they are going back to take a look at history, and they asked Buzz Aldrin a number of questions that he was very reluctant to talk about. And you tell me, trolls, why was he reluctant to talk about it? He was reluctant to talk about Apollo 11. No, I wouldn't say that I'm reluctant, but I'm interested not in the past. Listen, I know old men generally, and I think he's around 79 at this time, old men generally want to talk about the past all the time. They do that constantly. I took gerontology in school. I was a psychology major in my first degree, and they tell us that that is one of the signs that you are a man full of years and wisdom, because you like to go back to the past and talk about the past. So generally, old men love to talk about the past. I know my dad, he's 91 now, and all he does is talk about his World War II experience. So I can't believe that this man here, who has done one of the greatest things in history, or supposedly or allegedly done one of the greatest things in history, which is to travel to the moon. I mean, who wouldn't want to talk about that? But in this article, he doesn't want to do that because he says, as a young man, when he was young, his father would talk about the past endlessly and about the early days of aviation, how regrettable that was. He said because he doesn't want to be one of those old men that just talk about the past all the time. So I'd rather not talk about the past. So let's move on to something else. And so the interview kept being diverted and deflected away from the topic of what actually happened on, supposedly when they were on the moon. Astronauts to the moon, ha 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 ha. I think, what was it, Dan Aykroyd said that. But it is a joke. It is a joke. It's a joke played upon the American public, and it was played by Richard Milhous Nixon. And I do know that, again, it started out with JFK, but he's gone, and shortly after that he was gone, so he wasn't able to see it happen. So this was carried out by Richard Nixon, and supposedly during that time there were a number of events to happen. I did have one event that I wanted to show you here. Stanley Kubrick, let me see if I can say his last name here properly. Kubrick's family says about the hoax admission video. Well, supposedly Stanley Kubrick, who is a film director, was approached by NASA, and NASA asked Stanley to do a film for them of the moon landing, one in which they could show, just in case the landing didn't go as expected, or they weren't able to contact the moon like they wanted to. So they did one on Earth, And what they did is they actually filmed the entire scene in a studio. And Kubrick says, supposedly in his deathbed confession, that he said that he couldn't live with the guilt that the whole thing was staged. But here he is walking, Stanley Kubrick, with a number of people from NASA. And NASA approached him to do the film. So it is true that NASA did approach him to do the film. So I want to just say that to the people who are going to be out there and get on my YouTube channel. And I don't know why they like to watch it if they don't agree with what I'm saying. But nonetheless, I digress. Stanley Kubrick was approached by NASA, and NASA asked him to produce a film of the entire moon landing. So what we're seeing could be either the moon, or what we're seeing could be filmed in the studio. And as we can see here, there's a lot of light here coming against this shield here. And seems to be some film equipment on the shield of the spacesuit. So you guys decide whether or not it's true or not. I don't know what's going on with some people. I think it might be the vaccines that they're giving us, or maybe it's in the water, or maybe it's in the food. But there are a number of people who get on my channel, they're YouTube trolls, and they don't believe this, and I don't know how much evidence you've got to put out there for people to see that we've been hoodwinked and we've been bamboozled. But, you know, you can believe what you want to believe. I'm just putting the news out there and letting you see what happened here. Here's another website here that talks about it as well, and how Stanley Kubrick faked the Apollo 11 moon landing. And for that price of doing that, they paid him, and they also gave him their latest technology in film cameras that NASA actually had developed at that particular time. And so Kubrick used this film camera on his next film. And so I think one of the films that he produced was 2001 and Space Odyssey in 1969. Anyway, as you can see, there's a lot of involvement here between him and NASA. So does that kind of give you some reason maybe to believe what I'm saying here about Buzz Aldrin? Buzz Aldrin had some very dark times following the historic flight. And who can't forget how Buzz Aldrin responded when Donald Trump, President Trump, said, what would we do without space? If I can pull that up there. Oh, yeah. All right. So it wasn't what would we do without space. It was how did we do it without space. And there is Buzz Aldrin looking at Donald Trump as if, what do you mean, how did we do it without space? Anyway, like, subscribe, or don't. Oh, let me remind you, I do have a website, and it's True Set Free TV. So put that in, truesetfreetv.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this of my website, and you can go to my website. That's one way for you to support my broadcast, because again, YouTube does a lot of things to keep this kind of information from coming across. So I have to create my own commercials. So I do have a number of things that I'm affiliated with. So if you would like to help, you can purchase something from either the store that has a place to support me, toypets.store, or either you can go to my website and then purchase something from Amazon, and that will help to keep this broadcast going. Remember to like, subscribe, or don't, but remember until next time that Jesus is the light of the world, and the truth shall set you free.